Now, welcome back. Some days after the intervention by the Senate Committees on Petroleum, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Senator Magnus Abe, spoke on the intervention by the Senate and his thoughts on addressing some of the challenges in the petroleum sector.
We didn't just reach an agreement. We have been monitoring the agreement to see that all the parties keep to the terms of what we have decided upon and what we have agreed. The Federal Ministry of Finance was supposed to issue a letter to the major marketers. They have done that. They sent me a copy of the letter, and I have it. Everything that the parties are supposed to do to make sure that normalcy returns to the sector is being done as we speak. We also reached out to the governor of Lagos State and the Lagos State government. I spoke with the governor, I spoke with the commissioner for transportation, and we got them to reach some understanding with NUPENG and the road transport users, which is being implemented. So I think the thing is improving, and it will continue to improve. There's still a lot of panic buying going on, but as the days go by, I believe that will also reduce. Nigeria cannot afford to continue to run this kind of program. You can't have a situation where private businessmen have their business and then the government guarantees everything about your business. You are running a business, you go to the bank, you take a loan, the loan is guaranteed by the government, you don't pay on time, you charge the government for this thing, but the profits from the business, you don't account to anybody for how the profits are used. So even if you run the scheme for 10 years, every time you take a cargo, you tell everybody that you borrowed 100% of the money to go and take the cargo. Why, over the years you've been doing this business, didn't you save 1 or 2 kobo to use and reduce your exposure to the banks over time? So anything that doesn't run as a business is not a business. So what this is that this is a racket, it's a legal racket. And no sane society can continue to sustain this kind of system. The challenge of NNPC is fundamental to the Nigerian economy. I'm chairman of the Senate Committee on Petroleum, but apart from cases like this where we use our moral and legal authority as lawmakers to intervene in the national interest, we actually have very little control over NNPC. NNPC has a system where their budget is not actually approved by the National Assembly. And this is a major problem. I've been talking about this from the first day I became chairman of the committee until today. Unless and until these kind of issues are handled comprehensively by changing the laws, by changing the way we relate to some of these things and the way we handle them, there is very little that the committee can do in the long term to actually control what goes on in NNPC.
Now to what was the highlight of the week in the National Assembly, the valedictory session of the 7th House of Representatives.
Religion, science, technology and development, and transportation.
For the last time, Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Speaker of the House of Representatives, strikes the gavel at the valedictory session of the 7th Assembly. A rich roll call of dignitaries graced the ceremony, including former speakers and deputy speakers of the House of Representatives, amongst them Honorable Gali Naaba and Honorable Patricia Ete. There were also representatives of the service chiefs and former honorable members. Valedictory speeches were taken from caucus leaders and principal officers of the hallowed chamber.
The advent of Aminu Tambuwal saw the beginning of the independence of the Legislative House of Assembly. It is that independence, the independence of the House or any legislative arm in any country, that drives democracy. You have started it, and I believe that whosoever God wills to occupy that seat where you sit now will take that independence even to another level.
That what is important to all of us is that we must continue to build a Nigeria that we all dream will be the Nigeria for all. I do not think our country have gotten to where it ought to get to. But what is most important is that we have worked together as a family to ensure that the legislative institution in Nigeria has become today an independent body. And for those who are coming after us to the 8th Assembly, I want to urge you that you need to sustain the values of the independence of the legislature. That is what will always make us prominent, and that is what will make us count as a people.
We have, as a House, faced a lot of challenges, just like Nigeria itself has faced a lot of challenges. And the tenacity that we have exhibited in solving the problems that we have faced as a House goes beyond the fact that we are just members of this House.
You have played the role of Speaker with a straight, steady hand, with clarity of mind, and with purpose. Mr. Speaker, you are living testament to what they say, do the wrong thing because it is the right thing. And every day you have shown us that indeed we did not make a mistake in electing you as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Every man wants to leave a place better than he met it. And you, Mr. Speaker, sir, have added a new word to our legislative lexicon, the Tambuwal experiment. And the Tambuwal experiment is one that shows that when the people choose their leaders, it gives the leader the audacity and the impetus to take very difficult decisions on behalf of the people, and it gives the people the courage to sit back and bear those decisions because we believe that they would have been made in the best interest of the people.
Let me thank the great Honorable Speaker for the great leadership quality that you have demonstrated. You have shown to us clearly that as a Speaker, you were not our boss but our friend. You demonstrated also clearly that you believe in nothing more than transparency, accountability, and you laid emphasis on respect for the rule of law. This, I think, will take us to a height that will improve our services to our fatherland. We have on this floor collectively defend democracy to the letter, and I appeal that, as the 8th Assembly comes in, they must do everything possible in the books to protect democracy to the letter.
In his appraisal of the 7th Assembly, Dr. Clement Nwakwo of the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center scores the lawmakers high in the performance of their duties, especially with the passage of amendments to the Constitution.
The House must be commended for passing what turned out to be the single most significant and far-reaching amendment to the Nigerian Constitution ever. And it's quite sad that all of the significant efforts put in by the House and the National Assembly in passage of what is a very significant amendment to the Constitution remains shrouded in the controversies of these last few days. The House, just like its counterpart, the Senate, did not, however, respond to the constant demand by citizens that the funding, salaries, and emoluments by its members be better understood by the public and not be seen as shrouded in mystery. Consequently, it is unclear if the House applied its stated objective and watchword of making its running of its financial issues in line with the principles of fiscal conservatism.
This success, according to the House leadership, wouldn't have been possible without the cooperation of every member, regardless of party affiliation.
On our inauguration in 2011, my dear colleagues, you insisted that you had a statement to make, a statement to enrich democracy and to take the independence of the legislature to another level. Through the power of the unity of purpose, you boldly made that statement by electing leaders of your choice and ensuring that their tenure would only be determined by you to the exclusion of all external forces.
The 7th Assembly had been in the news right from its inception, from the emergence of its leadership to legislative duties it carried out and its relationship with the executive arm of government. As it bows out, it no doubt leaves a mark which the 8th Assembly will hope to surpass. This will be the last official function of Speaker Aminu Tambuwal in the House of Representatives. On Tuesday, when the House will resume sitting, it will be under the leadership of Deputy Speaker Emeka Ihedioha.